I've been sick since Dubai, but I'm starting to feel good now.
Yeah, you feel good, right? Yeah.
I'm feeling better. I still
yes.
have a little bit of a cough, but I'm feeling a lot better. By the end of March, in April, I'll be something that I've never been before. I'm pretty confident saying that. Pretty confident. Yeah.
Anyone who knows you knows that you have plans. Levan is also, I think that he will be even probably better than before. But the only thing is that like we all have injuries, Devon. And he also experienced an injury and he was smart enough to not to push it, not to rush it. You know, he took his time.
Mm-hmm.
But where you are hitting and where he had the problems is the same point.
I would personally be extremely embarrassed if I lost a match where I had hand control.
Are you worried about losing to a heavyweight?
No.
That's too little. I'm just curling your weight with one arm, so you're just too small.
Yeah, do you think that's gonna matter though? When I put the weight right in the spot, when I come in, or when I hit your fingers? Do you think it's gonna be a curl?
I think I won't be even able to feel him, which is slightly sad to me.
Who's that arm wrestler? It's Vitaly Laletin.
You talk a lot. I'm ready right now.
Who's that arm wrestler? It's Cobra Rhodes.
I am ready to arm wrestle now. Can I arm wrestle now?
You watch the Arm Historian?
Love that guy. Very thorough. Very.
And isn't he unique and isn't he talented? And the pieces that he put together, this last one on Engin, wonderful piece, beautifully animated, storytelling. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Loved him.
Very diligent.
Awesome.
Very timeless. Like, I feel like they're excellent pieces of work. Yeah.
I think he's really trying his best to put over a very balanced portrayal. Keep doing what you're doing, Arm Historian. I'm a fan, mate. Love what you do. Absolutely awesome.
By 2000. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be. Welcome to the Arm Historian Live. Coming to you like always on Sunday. Drew, what's up, man? Tomer, how you doing? Let's get some music going. There we go. Hope you guys are reading me loud and clear here. Hope you all are doing well. How are you out there in the arm wrestling world? Welcome, welcome. Let's give me 1 second to kind of set up a couple of things here. So yeah, today, what's on the docket? We're gonna be talking about the next East versus West, and then maybe take a quick look at some other things that have been going on in the arm wrestling world, but mainly we're gonna be doing that. Because they have released a couple of matches already. Hey Atlantis, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Elik or Sulainen, or if I butchered that name, how you doing? Welcome. I don't think much has happened this week in arm wrestling, unless I'm mistaken. No, Tomer, not a lot has been going on in the arm wrestling world. Like I said, there have been the East versus West. Couple of matches released on the next edition. So we'll be taking a look at those. We'll also be taking a look at like some general info about the event, just to kind of get us situated, because the event isn't that far away. As some of you might know, it's coming up pretty quickly. So yeah. Also, I wanted to quickly catch up. I'll do that first on... Do you guys know if there's been any info on the next Georgia versus World? If they're actually doing it or not? Let's see if I can find some info and share it with you guys. Because I have no clue if they're actually going through with the second edition. I know there's been some talk about it. But yeah, no clue whatsoever. Let's take a look together at their Facebook page, shall we? That seems like a good place to start. Here we go. How you guys doing? In general, everybody good? Been a little busy lately, but there are quite a bit of videos in the works that will be going online pretty soon on the Arm Historian channel, so yeah, that's something to look forward to. Tomer says, I think Gennady should just focus on training and making money. Good chance he goes broke funding Georgia versus World. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's never like fully clear to me how much the organizers themselves actually have invested in the event. I'm guessing Gennady's investment is quite substantial, seeing as he's like the main driving force behind it. I know a couple other people too, but yeah. Sup dog, how you doing, man? Good to see you. So yeah, let's take a quick look here at Georgia versus World. So I do see there's matches announced for Georgia versus World 2, apparently. Betkilioniani versus Boris Oshka. Whoever that is, haven't heard of him, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, it does seem like there's been some things going on with Georgia versus World. Some matches that have been announced, it seems. I don't know if they've actually got a December 28th. Interesting. Okay. So very close to New Year, Georgia versus World 2 is happening. Yeah. It remains to be seen if they have actually like any really big names. I see a couple of familiar names, obviously, like Artem Tainov and Aftandil Tutberidze are pretty well-known names if you're like deep into the sport. But yeah, let's take a quick look. I know Gita Napat from Southeast Asia. So it's cool that they're having some guys in from that part of the world too. Nurdolet is pulling there too, it seems. A coffee link for supporting Georgia versus World. Interesting. They're doing giveaways and stuff like that, so I don't know if that's a good sign or not, but yeah, that's what's going on, it seems, with Georgia versus World 2 right now. A couple of matches announced. 28th of December apparently is when it's happening. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. I'll be kind of keeping my eye on it too, tangentially, kind of going over it in live streams probably. Hey Latrusso, all good man, lurk away. All good, good to have you. Lagia says Alijan lost all his aura points with his last video, bro. Just pull. What did he actually post? Now I'm curious. I'm gonna take a look if I can find this video. Is it on YouTube or probably not, right? Probably it's like on Facebook or something, but I'll take a quick look if I can find it on YouTube, and maybe we can take a quick look at it just to see what he kind of put out there. But I don't know if he actually has a YouTube channel to even speak of, so I'm guessing it's on Facebook or Instagram. I can't find it on YouTube right away, so I'll take a look on Instagram if maybe I can pull it up there. Because now you got me curious. So yeah, I'll let you guys follow along. Currently looking at his stuff on Instagram. Maybe it's in his stories. Aha. this might be it. Okay, so he does have a YouTube channel, which is quite big actually. It's 35.7k subs, so that's not bad. Maybe we can take a look at it, part of it. I'm sure he won't mind, right? He won't strike the channel. Let's hope so. But yeah, let's take a look at it together. I'll pause the music for a second and see if we can glean any information about Alijan here.
Good afternoon, arm wrestling fans. I'm back to comment on Dexter Tan's latest statement on his podcast.
Okay.
He's commenting on this YouTube channel. There have been numerous statements about it since then.
Might have a Telegram channel. Yeah, apparently he has quite a substantial YouTube channel.
Many news outlets have posted material from this podcast, claiming that Aleza Muratov hasn't competed for a year and that we're stripping him of all his titles.
I don't know how good the auto dubbing is in this case.
Well, my address was supposedly from unofficial sources. There were hints that I should hand over the belt, and then I refused. Why should I hand it over? Firstly, legally, there were no clauses in the contract that was signed. There were no such points. I'm exaggerating legally. And secondly, there actually wasn't, it turns out to be an offer to defend in the 105th or 115th category.
Okay.
I'll explain it all to you now. Here's my 105th category rating. In 2023, I fought
Okay,
Oleg
it's just
Petrenko.
going over his matches, it seems.
First up is Alesh Muratov. Second is Yevgeny Prudnik. Third is Dexter, but in my understanding, let's say Oleg Petrenko fights David Dadakian, and whoever wins goes up against Prudnik. Whoever beats Prudnik goes up to fight for the title. That's how I understand it, right?
Lagia says
It's not my fault that you don't arrange arm fights.
he wants to only pull the number 2 ranked puller. He won't pull Daddy Akan just because he's ranked number 4 in some ancient ranking list. Okay.
Logical. It's the same thing. Look, a year ago I fought, Matyushenko, and I also won the belt from him, took it. There was no offer after that. There was an offer, by the way, from David Dadakianov.
Okay,
They constantly offer me, but David Dadakianov is...
I think I kind of get the gist of it, right? It seems that there's some dispute in who he's being offered. But as far as I understand, he did get offered a match still, right? With East versus West. Which I think a lot of people kind of wrote him off as like someone who wouldn't compete at East versus West anymore, considering, you know, all the drama that happened a couple months ago now. But yeah, apparently it looks like he's being offered a match, but he's not quite happy with the match he's being offered. Let's take another look, a quick
As you can see
listen
above
here.
him. Yevgeny Prudnik Matyushenko. Accordingly, if he wants to fight for the title, for the belt, he has to get past Yevgeny Prudnik and Ivan Matyushenko, right? They're not guarding Korn, so that's why, in my opinion, the
Bro has those akimbo style brows. Yeah, I kind of see what you're talking about there. He's underestimating Daddy Akan. I can understand his point, but he's wrong in regards to the situation. Yeah, I would just be, if I was in his place, I would just be happy with any match they would offer me and just take it. If it's like a reasonable deal, I would go ahead and just take it and like try to get back in the good graces of like the East versus West organization and also a lot of Western fans at large, right? You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people kind of got fed up with Alijan, or at least the way he was portrayed to a lot of Western fans, it looks like. Yeah.
The rankings should be kept like this. I understand that it's not economically beneficial for you, it's of no interest to anyone, but that doesn't excuse you from drawing. Conclusions and taking away my earned. Belts or titles, yes. Here are the rankings, all from official sources, supposedly the real rankings, yes.
Okay, there might be some. I'll keep it at that because the video is a little confusing. He just seems to go on about the rankings a lot. Doesn't really seem to get to the point. But yeah.
Afterwards, I'd like to point out that I'm ready to fight for the title at any time, to defend it, because I earned it, I fought fairly, and I'm ready to discuss these matters.
Okay. I don't really have a lot of opinions on this other than you should just try to get back into the fold and get back to pulling. Focus on that. Like, I know it might not be nice to have to accept a match with someone who you think ranks beneath you. But you kind of have to accept that you've been inactive for quite a while now, and you kind of have to ingratiate yourself again up to a certain point. So yeah, I get his point for sure, but I think, just get back to pulling, man. Get back on the big screen, get back in the groove of things, and get back on there on the table. He thinks he should only face the top guys, or just doesn't like what the rankings say. Yeah, that's kind of what I get from it. Like he feels like he's the title holder or something, or he should be the one. He should be facing only the top guys. I don't know. Did Prutnik retire from arm wrestling? Asks Lat Rousseau. I don't think so. I don't know. He's geographically very near to me, and sometimes I see like videos of him training with guys I know from the local scene. But I don't know. Maybe if I run into him at one point or another in the coming months, because there are going to be a couple of tournaments here locally, I'll ask him. But yeah, I have no clue if he actually retired from arm wrestling or not. I don't think so. Brian says, I imagine Alijan believes he can challenge Vitali whenever he wants, but according to his logic, he's ranked 5th in the super heavyweights. Yeah. I don't know. I think he might be overcomplicating things, and that seems to be like a reoccurring trend with him. Just get out there and pull. Don't worry so much about who you're gonna face or when you're gonna face them. Just set your next match, you know what I mean? Get back out there, because I do think Alijan has the potential to be a major crowd favorite, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'd love to see him pull again. I'd love to see the guy on the table again. Anthrax Baru says, I thought Prudnik stopped taking gear, and I mean, you really can compete at the same level he was as Natty. I don't know. It might have something to do with him moving countries a couple of years ago now already. And maybe this is pure speculation, but maybe not being able to get on the same regimen, training-wise as well as supplement-wise, that he could before. That might play into it, have something to do with it, but I have no clue. It's like pure speculation on that front. Maybe he wants to focus on family and his job. Could be. Yep. I could see that happening, and more power to him, right? Still a very talented puller, and I'd love to see him again. Same goes for Alijan. I'd love to see him at one of the big events. But yeah, there you go. Let's take a look at East versus West 21. In 20 days, 4 hours, 24 minutes, and about 10 seconds, the event will start on the 13th of December of this year, of course, this time in Atlantic City, the US, for those that don't know. Looking forward to it. I'm very happy they've decided to organize this event in quick succession, although once again, a couple of things I think are pretty lacking, because, for example, let's just imagine you're going to look up some information about the next event, right? You type into Google East versus West, one of the first links, or the first link you'll see, is a link to this webpage, East versus West, the official East versus West sports webpage. Now, the event is on the front page now, which is good. They're announcing the event right when you get in, which is a positive, of course. But then if you scroll down, what would you expect to see? Like matches that they've announced, maybe some news already for the event, stuff like that. Nope. Still talking about East versus West 20, coming to you live from Zurich in Switzerland on November 1st. So for some reason, they haven't really updated their entire front page here, which, you know, seems like a pretty straightforward and easy thing to do, right? Just put on some news there, even if you don't have all the matches set. Just put on something so that people are aware, like, okay, they're actively releasing matches now. This seems kind of, you know, I don't want to say lazy, but it does seem a little negligent, right? You know what I mean? Luckily, they do have their ticket links working, it seems. We'll click onto that one. So yeah, you can buy the tickets, the in-person tickets, at a price range of $50 to $195. I'm guessing depending on whether it's a standing spot or how close to the ring you want to be. Yeah, it'll increase probably in price the closer you get to the ring. Let me put on some... Sorry if that's a little loud. Let me put on some music there. Here we go. So yeah, you are able to buy tickets already, which, you know, that's good. At least they got that up and running. They have a start time here, 12 p.m. local Atlantic City time. And they even have an end time, which says 5 p.m. So they're shooting for a 5-hour event, which would be, I believe, shorter than a lot of their previous events, which is very interesting. I'll be keeping my eye on if they actually manage to pull that off, but I do think that's a good thing, right? Giving the address here, Harras Boulevard. I noticed they've got like a promotion going with the Harras Hotel or something like that. But from what I understand, Atlantic City is kind of a Las Vegas light, you know what I mean? That's the way I understand it. I've never been, be fair with you guys, so I could be totally off on that. Maybe someone in chat knows more about that than I do. But that's kind of the way I see it. And then they're offering their VIP ticket for $6.95. I want to take a quick look at the VIP ticket and see what exactly that entails, you know, because $6.95, quite substantial. I know in the past they've sold it for more. So maybe they're still honing in on like an exact price point for their VIP tickets, but I'm very curious what you'll get for it. So let's take a quick look here. It says here, VIP ticket holders will enjoy several perks, like front row VIP seats at the event, and they will be invited to a banquet and enjoy an exclusive dinner with the athletes and so much more. So basically, the same what we've already seen. Eat along with the athletes at a banquet and getting front row seats. Other than that, it doesn't really say anything. It has like a couple of... have to enter your WhatsApp number, which is interesting. Here we go. Okay. Below are the perks you get to enjoy as a VIP of East vs. West 21. This VIP package is only for one person. VIPs will be invited to a private meal. That's the banquet. They're talking about offering the rare opportunity to engage in delightful conversation, play games, and enjoy food and drinks with the athletes and special guests. Interesting choice of words here, delightful conversation. But there you go. VIPs will also be treated to front row VIP seats. We've talked about that. Accompanied by snacks and beverage service. Interesting. VIPs will receive a free autographed memorabilia. Okay. VIPs will partake in a professional photography session, capturing memorable moments with the athletes. Okay. I wonder... like, I've wondered this a couple of times, and maybe people that have actually visited the event can enlighten me on this. If you visit the event as a non-VIP, so just as a regular spectator, would you be able to get some one-on-one time with some athletes regardless, like during the after pulling or at like a party or anything like that, would you be able to approach certain athletes even though you didn't pay for the VIP ticket? I wonder, because it's very hard to imagine that if you walk up to one of the athletes at a decent moment, like when they're not engaging in a match, not right before or after the match, something like that, but like when you approach them, you ask them for an autograph or a picture, I would imagine that most of them would just say yes, right? Regardless, they won't say like, oh, are you a VIP? Because otherwise I can't take a picture with you. So it is interesting to me, at least, like how approachable would athletes be at these events if you attend them in person. Diggin' It says Georgia versus World promotion is horrible. Like, everyone needs to step up on promotions. I agree. Everyone needs to step up on certain aspects. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. I might be a little nitpicky on certain aspects in the lead up to events, but that's just because I feel like certain organizers or organizations are missing out on so much traffic and extra potential viewers by like dropping the ball on some very basic things, I think people get turned off really quickly if they can't find what they're looking for in quick fashion. And like something very stupid, like we talked about at the East versus West homepage here, just have something here instead of still having news about like a blurb about Zurich, the last edition. Have some news on your front page about we're actively releasing matches right now. Follow us on these social medias. It should be front and center, right? But if you're looking for matches, like, it's not that easy to find. You know what I mean? They still have East versus West 20 here on their navigation bar. Upcoming events, latest past events, East versus West 18. I mean, this is like your calling card for your entire organization, this website. So, I don't know, maybe their webmaster is like dropping the ball, or it doesn't receive that much traffic maybe, so they just don't care. I have no clue. But these seem very simple things that could potentially improve the amount of tickets you sell, right? Same goes for Georgia versus World. I haven't even seen an official website for them. But for East versus West, you would expect them to be on top of these kinds of things, right? And like, I've done work as a webmaster for big companies. This is not a hard thing to do, you know what I mean? This is like a one-day job for one guy, updating the website, keeping the website updated. So I don't know, it's kind of small things, and they sound very nitpicky, and I agree to a certain extent they are, because at the end of the day, it's about the matches you can show, about the production value of the event itself. Those are the most important things, But still, these things in the lead up to the event, to me, they're very essential. To me, especially for getting casual fans into the sport and into your event, watching your event, people that are just getting into arm wrestling, they get turned off really quickly when they can't find exactly what they're looking for in a quick fashion. So, stuff like that kind of bothers me sometimes. That isn't to say like, oh, they're doing a terrible job, because I think all in all, they're doing a pretty good job. But like, come on, hire a webmaster, pay him for a couple of days or whatever. Like, I don't get why that isn't possible. It seems like a very easy fix. But yeah, there you go. Let's take a look. We were looking at the VIP package, right? There were a couple more points there. Yeah, exactly. Digging it. I agree. Just 5 minutes of work to update fans. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot, but just like keep your information very clear and straightforward, and at the forefront of whatever because if you type in, let's do a quick like experiment here, right? I'll type in East versus West into Google right now and see what comes up. The very first link that comes up in Google is their official page. So if I'm a new fan and I'm looking like, okay, the next event, let's take a look. I'm going to the very first link I find on Google. Okay, East vs 21, very good. Like their landing page works, has a countdown here, has a way to buy the tickets, get a pay-per-view, become a VIP member, buy their merch, all very good. It looks decent to me. So then I'm like, okay, I've heard of a couple of names in the arm wrestling world, otherwise I wouldn't be here as like a new fan. I wonder who they have in this event. I'll just scroll down and I'm sure I'll get some news, right, on the event or what's going on. And then I see here pay-per-view and tickets. Oh, they're talking about East vs West 20 coming to us live from Zurich on November the 1st, which is like a month ago almost now. These matches aren't happening. You know, these matches already happened. And then, okay, their shop, I get that they want to sell merch, but maybe prioritize giving us some updates on an event that is how many days away now? 20 days away? It seems like you're missing out on some potential sales. You know what I mean? Like I said, this may sound very nitpicky, and to a degree, I admit it is. But I think it's like something that keeps getting overlooked over and over again. Yeah, I just don't get why they're dropping the ball with these kinds of things that are, at the end of the day, and like I said, I've done this kind of work myself for big companies. Like, it isn't a hard thing to do. Like, updating your main calling card, your main website with the latest news should be something very simple. You know, if I want to find some info on the matches, maybe as a new fan, I'll think like, okay, I'll look at their navigation here. Maybe I can find some more info. Okay, that's the latest event. That's a previous event. Maybe it's in here at events. Nope. I see some news here from June to 21st, which is like, I don't know. Just seems very simple, very straightforward thing to do, a very inexpensive thing to do. It should be easy. Hey, digging it with a $12 super chat. I do appreciate that a lot. Says, yeah, exactly. Where's the list of pullers and their stats? And to me, seems like a super easy update. Yes, and that's another very good thing you bring up here. Thank you a lot for the super chat, by the way. I greatly appreciate it. Never expect it, but when people do donate, it's very motivating to me. So yeah, another very good point you bring up here. Like, we should be able to find very clearly here who are the athletes involved with this league, right? Where are the rankings? Like, maybe it's on this website somewhere, but like, where is it? You know what I mean? Maybe it's like dug in somewhere really deep. You have here, okay, Robert, that's nice. The organizers, kind of formatted weirdly, but still. Thanks for the subscription, Vase too, I appreciate it. But yeah, some very basic stuff, right? Meet the team, that's nice, they did that. And now the athletes, where are all the athletes involved? Where are the rankings? Where are these things? I get that we're like in a social media world, and most of these things are posted on social media. But shouldn't this be like, considering this is the very first thing when people type in East versus West into Google, this is the very first thing people are faced with, especially newer people who want to get into it. Like, shouldn't it be very clear and very obvious where you can find all these things? That's just my opinion, you know what I mean? And I think, like Diggin showed here, I think quite a few people do share that opinion. It's very hard for us to see sometimes because we're so... The people who watch my live streams and who are present here now, most of us are very deep into the sport, right? So stuff like this kind of slips through the cracks because we know where to look for these matches. We know to go to the Instagram of East versus West. and that's where they kind of release the matches, or their Facebook page. But new people to the sport, like someone who's very new to arm wrestling and who's interested in like the biggest event we have to offer as a sport, they're gonna go to this website first after looking it up on Google. And if they're not like fully into arm wrestling already, it's gonna be a major turnoff for them. I'm very convinced about that. They're gonna see this and like, where do I go from here? Like, how can I get more info on the event? Just a very simple thing on the front page, like, we're releasing the matches right now, and we're kind of releasing them step by step on our social media pages. Keep your eyes peeled on this, or this is our latest match released, or these are the matches that have been released. Like, very simple stuff like that. Are you guys... Am I being delayed on the stream? I see like a slight delay in my camera. Might just be me, but... Yeah, Anthrax Baru. They have a meet the team, but no meet the athletes. I agree. Like, I remember WAL. WAL is an organization that started in 2014. Over 11 years ago now. WAL had this. They had pages with athletes, all the athletes that ever entered into the WAL, and info about those athletes, like a biography, stats on those athletes. They weren't always 100% accurate, mind you. Could be improved a lot, but they did have this. So why in 2025, nearly 2026, the biggest event in arm wrestling, the 21st edition of the biggest event in arm wrestling, the biggest organization in our entire sport, why do these things get left behind? I love East versus West as an organization and the events that they put on. I love watching them, and I'm very grateful that it even exists in the first place. But we should be setting our standards higher as a community with stuff like this. We're losing out on potential new people, and to me, it just... I'm not even sure what the reason is. Like, is it that they're so focused on things and so into the arm wrestling world that they're just figuring like, most people know that they should look at our Instagram page or whatever if they want some information? I have no clue what the reasoning is. Diggins says, it should not be a struggle for fans to find information. Exactly my thoughts. Latriso says, my god, Jerry is so beautiful. Yes, Jerry Caderet is a sight to behold. I agree. Latriso says, I don't even use their site. Yeah, I do agree. Like a lot of things, a lot of these things that I'm saying, like people who are really invested in arm wrestling won't care about these things. And in that sense, I agree that it could be perceived as very nitpicky of me. And to a degree, like I said, it is. Because we just know by now, okay, we should go to their Instagram page. We should keep our eye on some of their social media pages and kind of see when matches come out there. But like, come on, put some effort into it. Where can I go and see which athletes are involved with the sports? Where are the rankings posted very clearly? Like social media pages, when you post things there, after a while, they aren't relevant anymore. Like a ranking that is updated after every event? Where can I even watch that stuff? I don't know. I'm going off on like an entire tangent here about it, but like as someone who's involved in web development and like I said, having been a webmaster for companies, this is like 101, you know? These are like the first things you think of. Because this is your calling card for new people at the end of the day. Yeah, ranking stats and other info about the athletes is important. I agree. Tomer says, I agree 100%. Diggins says, you have to imagine that not everyone has the time to be on the computer, and when they have the chance, information should be available easy. Yes, couldn't have said it better myself. A lot of people, you have to give them what they want in the first like 10 seconds when they're looking for something. In this day and age, it's so important to have your information available readily and freely as easily as possible. And if you're not doing that as an organization, you're missing out. And like I said, it's very difficult to see for hardcore arm wrestling fans like us, like most people here. But I do think it's something that is often overlooked. And it's not like a dig on East versus West alone, because I see it in nearly every arm wrestling organization or event that gets put on. It's something that's so easily overlooked. You don't care about SEO. You don't care about having a website available. Like, not all the people use social media or want to use social media for information. And if they do use social media, it's often very, like, obfuscated and not clear at all, you know what I mean? So I think that's like an important thing for every arm wrestling organization to work on, but something that East versus West especially should have by now. They should be good on that, right? Because it's one of the... If I would be organizing an event, I would struggle with a ton of things, but this wouldn't be one of them because it is relatively easy. East versus West put on great events, great production value, great announcers, camera angles, everything you could desire from a good event, good matches, all of these things. They're doing really well. But then they're dropping the ball on like very simple, straightforward stuff like that. And it's just, I don't know what it is with the arm wrestling world, where they seem to not want to do this very like straightforward things in the lead up to events. Things that could help your event grow a lot. That's all I'll say about it. I'll keep it at that. I know I've been going off for quite a while now about it, but I do think it's very important. Maybe they only hire arm wrestlers for everything instead of getting professionals who know what they're doing, says Slattery. So might be. Diggin says arm historian is so correct. I appreciate it, Diggin. I would welcome anyone who doesn't agree's opinion, of course. Like people know, you can say whatever you want in this chat, as long as you remain civil. I don't care if you have a differing opinion of than me. You can say whatever you want, but I do think it's something important. Hey Neil Pickup, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Welcome. Been a while since we talked. Lagia says, well said. I guess Dexter and Robert are very busy with their other businesses. Makes sense. You could delegate it. Like I said, it's the webmaster's job to do this. But if the webmaster doesn't get the right instructions and the right things to work with, they're unable to do that, right? Like normally companies divide it into like a designer, a graphic designer, a copyist, someone who writes all the text for what you want on your web page, and then it's up to the webmaster to combine those elements into a fully functioning website and publish it. Subdog says arm historian is watching arm wrestling grow as a professional sport like a hockey dad. Yeah, I might be overthinking it or getting too on top of it, but it's just something that's a little personal to me because I work in that kind of sector. So yeah, maybe those things are just too obvious for me where I can't ignore them. But to me, that's very important. Yeah, exactly. Matko says it here. Gold's Arm has most of this, but that has nothing to do with him. I think Gold's Arm is a great resource and is doing a good job with their website. I just think East vs. West could be providing that same service geared towards their specific athletes and events. They pull and then you don't hear from them for months or years, says Anthrax. I've only come to know some pullers because they pull on the cards. Yeah, exactly. And I think pullers are doing a better and better job at getting into social media and promoting their matches, although room for improvement, obviously. But like, I think we can incorporate everything a little more where it's even better, right? Together with the official event and the official organizers. Hey, TOS Move, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, good to see you. They only start to give exposure literally a day before the event. We have 20 days till the new event and only a few podcasts here and there. There is such little work to create hype. I know. And that's like another point. You have content creators. Quite a bit of arm wrestling content creators. And involve them. Like as far as I can tell, they involve so little people into the actual promotion side of the event. Like, why can't they give arm wrestling content creators a code that they can share with their fans, with their hardcore fans, for like a 5% discount or something on the pay-per-view ticket, or like 2 tickets to give away for free in like a contest that they can run? Seems so easy to do, seems so straightforward, but hasn't happened yet. Hey, the lucky ones. Alright. Thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. Hey Army, sorry I'm late. We're doing predictions. Not really. I might give my opinion on some of the matches and what I think the potential outcome might be. But so far, no like deep predictions yet. I'll keep that until like all the matches have been revealed. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, rant over about that kind of thing. I think you guys know my opinion. Those who have followed me for quite a while and have listened to these live streams know what I'm talking about. Because I have brought it up before quite a bit. But yeah, that's my rant over for this section. The lucky ones, thank you so much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it, seriously. Check their podcast out if you haven't already. Especially if you're interested in female arm wrestling, they're like the #1 go-to resource for that. So definitely check them out. Doing great stuff and are a great supporter of Arm Historian channel. Ray and Ozzy been doing better pods. Yeah, I agree. There's certain content creators like Ray and like Ozzy who have been stepping up their game even more and are doing great stuff. I just think from the organization's side of things, involve more content creators. There's tons of channels, and I'm not even talking about my own channel. I'd love to be included in that, but I'm not even talking about my own channel, but just reach out to more content creators about promoting the event. My channel isn't the biggest channel, arm wrestling channel, also not the smallest anymore, and I haven't received like one single piece of like any kind of contact from East versus West about, hey, how would you like to create a video for the next event or something. They don't even have to pay me or anything, but just reach out to content creators. Like, I think it's one of the best ways to potentially get the word out there even more. Yeah, it's Jacoby says get Arm Historian to the events for sure. I'd love to be there. I'd love to get an invite. All this stuff. I won't say that I wouldn't love that, but like that's not even what I'm talking about on a personal level. I understand they can't like give free tickets to every content creator out there of every size. Just have some kind of program where they can work with you to a degree, right? Let's get into the matches. I can talk about this stuff for ages, and I'm sure people will get sick of it rather quickly. So let's get into some of the matches that we can actually take a look at, because I think they've posted it on their Instagram. I think. Let's take a look here. So yeah, here I see Paulin has a match versus Bogdan Stoica. Paul says, this match is a great opportunity and honor for me. Bogdan is a powerful and well-rounded athlete. He defeated my last opponent in a decisive fashion. I will have to bring my A game, hoping to put on a show. So yeah, that's one of the matches that they've announced. Paulin versus Bogdan Stoica. Here we go. So yeah, again, I have to go to their Instagram page, have to scroll down, find the matches that are on the card. You should have this plus a bunch of other ways, right? But anyways, good match, I think. I would give the edge to Paul, but I think Stoica is doing well again, right? I think Bogdan Stoica, to a degree, some people still have like his loss versus Ryan Bowen in mind at Armor several years ago now. But I don't think it's the same person. And I think this could end up being a good match. So I'm hopeful. I don't mind this match at all. I always love seeing Paulin involved. And I think Stoica is, as far as I've seen on podcasts and stuff, a fine guy, you know? Good guy to have on your card. Ivan says, Neil brought me to your channel, to be honest, but yeah, I like the content. I appreciate it, Ivan. Neil Pickup, great supporter of the channel. I love me some Neil Pickup. Like, just looking back at the history of Neil and his contributions to the sport, which goes back decades and decades, you can't hate on Neil Pickup. Well, you can, and obviously some people do, but you shouldn't hate on Neil Pickup because I think even the resources that he has from ages ago, as well as the things he still puts out now, are invaluable to our sport. And for me personally, Neil's been a great resource when I'm like stuck on research or I need to know something about arm wrestling's past. Neil always has my back in that and always is ready with a thoughtful answer there. So I think Neil Pickup, great guy in general. No hate for Neil. Yeah, I agree, Lat Rousseau. I would love to like vlog from an event there or something like that. Would love to do that. And I would do it on my own dime, you know what I mean? Dexter Tan is a numbers guy, says Jacobin. Might be, I don't know, might be. I haven't had any real interactions yet with Dexter Tan, so I can't really speak on that. They want channels with 1 million subs. Well, you're gonna run out of channels really quickly if that's your cutoff point. Because there's plenty of channels with way higher sub counts than, for example, my channel, but lower view counts when it comes to their videos. So I don't think subscribers is necessarily a good metric to go by. I think subscribers in general are becoming less and less of an important metric on YouTube itself, but that's easy to say from a channel who has like 12k subs or something, right? Like me. Sock Cucker Ken Roth says it's arm wrestling, not talk wrestling. Boo boo boo. What is this East versus West? I'm not quite sure if there's a real question in there, but I'll take that as a comment. Atlantis says, so they have all the graphics made, that makes it worse. Yeah. Very easy to put that on your website, but yeah. Channels can become media ambassadors for East versus West. Benji Mack is one of them. Okay. Like, would be great if it would be clear how to do that. And who to contact and where to fill in a form or something like that. Would be great. Here's another match for their Atlantic City event. Gronlund versus Brisson. Interesting. It's good that they found another match for Brisson here. It is a left-handed match, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, left arm. So yeah, might be a good match actually. I'm looking forward to seeing Anna Gronlund on this stage again. I think she pulled before, right? At East versus West. I know she's involved to some degree with the organization and stuff, but could potentially be a good match here. There's a left-hand battle in the women's open class. Both athletes are ready to make noise on the East versus West stage. Deliver a high-energy matchup you won't want to miss. Yeah, Good match, I think. Can't really predict who would win here. I don't know. Hard to say. Take a look at another one. Schoolboy versus Bornman. Yeah, very good that they're doing this kind of match, I think. Their description reads, Internet sensation Schoolboy, aka Alexander Beziaikov, I think, or if I'm butchering that name, steps up against Rickard Bornman in a massive showdown between two of the brightest rising forces in arm wrestling. Two young guys still. Yeah, can't wait to see this match, honestly. Very curious if Schoolboy will be able to finally prove himself on this kind of stage, because I do think that a couple of other performances at like King of the Table and East vs West, I believe, or maybe he's only pulled at King of the Table, haven't been like up to the standard that people might expect from him. But awesome that they're getting like someone with a huge social media following. I think as far as like raw numbers, Schoolboy might be up there as like one of the biggest people that is heavily involved with arm wrestling. So yeah, awesome. A really good decision, I think, and looking to be a great match. Can't wait to see it, honestly. Sick match, says Atlantis. I agree. Hey, Tomer, see you next time, man. Good to see you. The Lucky One says, this is gonna be amazing. She lost to Angie Rose, but was distracted by a family emergency, so she's gonna get redemption. Interesting, okay. That's some good background information on the Gronlund versus Brisson match. Love that it's both arms, says the Lucky Ones podcast. Is it both arms? Are they pulling both arms? Interesting. This is another female match happening at the event, and I'm very grateful that they're getting Takanaka back, because I think Takanaka is like one of the crowd favorites. It's always exciting to see a puller from a culture or a country that doesn't get a lot of time in the spotlight, and I think Takanaka is a great example of that. And she's facing Victoria Carlson, who's of course also a very good puller. Looking forward to this match. Yeah. They're having a clash at 60 kilograms on the left arm. Yep. Can't say a lot more than I'm really looking forward to this match, and I think it's a great match. Yeah. I'm glad they're doing this match. For sure. Let's take a look at another one. A couple of big guys here. Zeranov versus Sporong. I always love to see Sporong on the card. Very versatile, dynamic puller. Always jumps right in and gives it his all. Seemingly isn't afraid to switch up positions during the match, which makes him very excited. Like a very exciting prospect to see. So yeah, a lot of left-handed matches I see here. On the left arm says, the climb for left-hand gold continues as two super heavyweights meet in a big-time clash. Yeah. I think this is a fine match. I probably would give the edge to Zeranov here, but Tobias might surprise us all. You never know. But I would probably give the edge to Zeranov if I had to make a prediction right now. But I think fine match. Atlantis says Gronlund used to be a power lifter. She's pretty strong. Yeah, he is strong. Schoolboy and Rickard are both arms, says the Lucky Ones podcast. Interesting, okay. Left and right arms. Yeah, okay. So they did actually, thank you for that, the Lucky Ones. So they did actually put this on their poster here, which is the first time I think where they actually combined it. They might have done it before with like a Devon match or something. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that is good to see left and right arms. So cool. Yeah, I like it. I wonder if they're gonna do it in like right after one another. That'll give an extra like endurance factor to the match. But yeah, that is pretty exciting. And I'm happy they're doing that, actually. I hope they keep doing that in the future, because that might open up the door to see some very popular athletes get even more matches. You know what I mean? Very easy way to do that, I think. So yeah, smart on their end. I like that. Another match here. Sterengas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Mayan Sterengas versus Fine Wine Jason Merlot. Good to see Jason get a high caliber match like this at a big event, because I love me some Jason Merlot. For people who have been watching the live streams, Jason has come on the Arm Historian live stream before. I have a good relationship with Jason, and I think he's a great guy, great attitude in the way he approaches the sport. Also, Natty, as far as I know, might be mistaken here, but as far as I know, completely Natty, Jason Merlot, and just going at the sport at his own pace, doing what he thinks is right, working out the way he wants to. So, looking forward to this match. Again, left arm match. Like, how many left arm matches do we have now? Quite a bit, right? Hey, the fine wine in chat. Here we go. Jason is in chat. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Looking forward to this match like a lot. I hope Jason pulls out a win here. I don't know anything about his opponent really, but I'm assuming since it is on this big stage, that he's going to be quite formidable. So yeah, looking forward to this match. Love that Merlot is on here. Hope he gets a ton more matches on future cards. Yes, completely Natty. It's my motivation to get to this level in the mix as the fine wine. Yes, I believe we've talked about it before on the live stream. And it's one of the things that I admire about Jason a lot. Like his attitude towards the sport and training and getting to where he is already, and getting even further is yeah, very admirable, I think. So awesome that they're giving him a chance on this big stage. Love to see more of him. Also think he does a good job with like the way he presents himself online. So yeah, can only be a good thing to have him at your event, I think. Let's see, a couple more big fellas here. Jerry Caderet versus Kamil Jablonski. This match, when I heard it, this is on the right arm, obviously. I don't know if Jerry even pulls on the left arm still. But yeah, a flop wrist versus flop wrist, or press versus press at the very least. Although I know these guys have a couple of other tools in their arsenal. Like you would expect it to go press versus press, although I don't know how much that is actually gonna be like a viable strategy for either of them on the day itself. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. I think this kind of match is sneakily a very good idea. Especially for people deeper into the sport who actually know what these guys are about. They both bring kind of this weird X factor to the table, right? So personally, I know a couple of... This has been quite a controversial match as far as I could tell from like comments that people have given online. But as far as I can tell, will be an interesting match. For me personally. Like, I'd love to see this match. It says, the right-hand battle everyone has been waiting for. Two of the most feared flop pressers in the sport finally collide in Atlantic City. So yeah, pure power and relentless pressure. I wonder if they used ChatGPT for these decks. Not that there's anything wrong with that necessarily, but like these kind of EM dashes you see all the time. If you're familiar with ChatGPT decks, I know they've used some AI in promotional material before that looked kind of iffy to me. But yeah, that's not like a diss on them for using AI in their descriptions on Instagram. But it is kind of a dead giveaway, stuff like this, that you are using that. Let's see. Did we cover all the matches? No, of course not. How could I forget? Svetkov versus Stott. the monster back at it versus Georgi Svetkov. Two giants of arm wrestling collide. Once again collide on the East versus West stage. Massive right-hand showdown between Georgi Svetkov of Bulgaria and Michael Todd of the US, of course. Yeah. I'm interested. I always like seeing Mike pull. Georgie has given us some good matches in the past, so yeah, I don't mind this match at all. I know Georgie's hand is really strong. Svetkov's hand is really strong. That being said, I do think Michael will pull this off, will pull the win off. Like I said, I won't go too deep into predictions yet until we have like the entire card. But I do think Michael has the potential to pull this off, and I know he's been like fishing for that Levon match, so this match is like very pivotal for him to win if he ever wants to be able to face Levon, right? If he ever wants the shot at the big guy at the top of the mountain, this big guy, Georgie, is like he needs to like decimate him. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it will be that easy. I don't know if it will be. Could go either way, but I'll give the edge to Michael right now because I do think that Georgie might have a difficult time and might be lacking some of the endurance to actually power through Michael's King's move for what will be best 3 out of 5, I'm guessing, right? AI used for correcting grammar is okay, says Latrus. So yeah, I'm not like an anti-AI guy necessarily. Sometimes I think it looks kind of sloppy, and it needs some human oversight in a lot of things, especially if you're like generating images and stuff like that for promotional material. It can look kind of samey and can use some human input. But in general, I'm not like a big anti-AI guy or something. I don't personally use it a lot. For script writing, it's not really useful for me because a lot of the info it spits out isn't correct still for the arm wrestling world. And I kind of have my own style of how I want to present things, so I still write my own scripts. I've used some AI images in the past in my videos, but even I try to stay away from that too. Like especially in my last videos. Calvin Jones, how you doing? Says that they are both going to get stuck. Don't know how it will work out. Yeah. Can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait to see it. Fine wine. Jason says appreciate all the kind words, everyone, and thanks, Arm. You're very welcome. He says I think Jerry and Camille will fall into the hook. Yeah, that's a prediction I've seen many times before, and I think that's a very valid prediction. They might fall into the hook here. If like the way they've been beaten in previous matches is anything to go by, it might indeed just turn into an all-out hook war there. Let's see here. Hey, Piyush Kumar, how you doing? Says, hey bro, remember me? Yes, I do remember you, Piyush. Hope you're doing well. Has been quite a while since I've seen you in one of these lives. You're doing good, my man. AI scripts and images are pretty whack, says Latrus, so they can be for sure. The lucky one says, I find your take on AI hilarious, because wasn't your page an animated arm for years? I know it's different and don't disagree, but just humor is at that. I get you. I didn't use any AI for the animated arm, and maybe I'm like a little biased because in my like line of work, I'm not talking about the channel here, but in like my regular people line of work, I use Photoshop a lot, or at least I did in the past. And yeah, the arm is obviously made in Photoshop, stuff like that. But yeah, it is quite funny how you can basically make these things in AI now if you want. But like I said, I do think you still need some amount of human input in order to make it palatable, at least for me. Hey, Kingsmove Social Club, how you doing, man? Rousseau says the animated arm was cool, man. Yeah, there's like been different opinions on it. I'm definitely gonna bring it back. Plus for like my videos for the main channel, like not my live stream, but my actual videos, I'm still using the arm from time to time. And I will be keeping it. It is like my official representation to 99.99% of my viewers. Because let's face it, a very small percentage of people who watch my videos also join in on my live streams. Most people that watch my videos don't know that this is my human form and I look like this behind the scenes. Most people still associate the talking arm with the arm historian channel, which is the way I want to keep it. You know what I mean? AI is a tool, and you can certainly tell who uses them as a tool and who relies on them entirely. I agree. I agree for sure. For sure. I'm gonna take a quick look. I think we covered all of the matches here. I ranted a lot about the event. Don't take that as me saying like I hate East vs West or something like that, because obviously I do not hate East vs West. I'm very happy an event like this exists, and I think in general for the next event, most of these matches look fine to me. I don't know what you guys think about it, but looking forward to the next event. Definitely gonna buy it, and looking forward to a lot of these matches. Can't wait to see if they actually put in Devon in their next event. Been a lot of talk about Devon pulling in like the upcoming 3 events or something like that, so it will be interesting to see if he will be pulling in the next event too. But so far, can't say anything wrong with these matches. I'm gonna take a quick look here if Neil Pickup is gonna go live soon. Usually Neil goes live after my live stream. But like in the last few weeks, I think he's been a bit busy or changed his schedule a little bit. So I'm gonna check up on if he's actually going live. Hey, Diggin coming in with another super chat. Thank you so much, Diggin. You don't have to do that. I never like encourage people to do that, but I greatly appreciate it. It's very motivating, honestly. Because where is Dexter? He should be messaging you for web help. Please, Dexter, get a fix. I would be like I said, I do this as my line of work outside of this channel. I did webmaster. I was a webmaster for a big company. I did this kind of stuff as a job. So I would be more than willing to, like, obviously it would be great if I could help East vs West in any way in this regard, but I'm not even saying the entire rant wasn't even about they should hire me or something like that. Just hire someone. You know what I mean? Just get someone on there doing these kinds of things and getting more embroiled into like the stuff leading up to the events. Because I think sometimes, and this goes for a lot of arm wrestling events, they're still missing the mark on very simple, straightforward stuff that they could do in the lead up to that. But anyways, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Diggin, and thanks for the super chat. Really greatly appreciate it. Don't get a lot of super chats or members in these live streams because I do tend to engage with the audience as much as possible. I'm not one of these live streamers that only reads super chats, but when it does happen, it's very motivating for me. So yeah, I do thank you a lot. Appreciate it a bunch there. Favorite match or performer this year, says Sock Cocker. That's a tough one, man. I think the last event had a bunch of great matches. I'm a sucker for Matt Mask. I'm gonna say this changes, obviously, but I'm gonna say Matt Mask. I think Matt Mask is putting his best foot forward again, and has been having some consistently very entertaining matches. Even though the results aren't always there, a Matt Mask match never disappoints, in my opinion. In my opinion. Sockcucker is a pretty powerful name, I do agree there. Let me quickly check. Like I said, I'm gonna check if Neil Pickup is going live. With the fix, as he usually does. I do believe he is. Yes, there is a live plan, so we'll call it here. I'll do a quick shout out to all my members. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. like you guys, and also the people who donated today in the stream, Diggin and the lucky ones, everyone who keeps watching, greatly appreciate it. You guys are the reason why I keep doing this. I'm not getting rich off this. I put a lot of time in my videos, a lot of research, a lot of work into them. You guys are the reason why I keep doing this. These Sundays are great. I always enjoy talking to the arm wrestling community, and more specifically to the arm historian community. I hope we keep growing as a sport. And yeah, I'm very grateful to all of you. Even the lurkers, people who just drop a like or a comment every now and then, people who just watch my stuff, greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you again to Diggin and the lucky ones for the super chats. I greatly appreciate it. I hope I see you guys same time, same place next week. Get your asses over to the fix, which is about to start. Tell them the arm historian sent you. Maybe we'll get a cheeky little shout out in there. And yeah, until next week, see you guys then. Arm historian out of here. Bye bye, guys.